welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Geek and I. Fresh off a Mets victory. Hope I don't jinx them, because every time I wore the shirt this week, they lost. But this is after a win, so maybe they're off tomorrow. Maybe this won't affect them on Sunday night. I can hope. Do you have any? Do you watch a lot of sports or no? You have teams you like?
I used to. Back in the day, I was a Cowboys fan. I was a Yankees fan. Local hockey team from where I grew up. We used to go to those games all the time. And of course, IU basketball. But I don't have cable anymore, and I'm not going to buy 20 different streaming services to try and catch any of these games. So I watch highlights on TikTok or on YouTube.
After the show, I'll give you a link to something that I've been using a lot, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool website. And I'm not going to say it here because I could possibly get in trouble, and I don't want to do that. But did you have any? Do you have any superstitions that you follow? Like okay, here's mine. I can't wear. There are certain times where I learn I can't wear a Mets jersey. The series against the Brewers, which was a 3-game series, I wore the shirt, and the days that I wore the shirt, they lost. So I cut that out. And then the Phillies, I didn't wear the shirt on the days. I don't even remember what. It's so confused. I can't even follow it in my own head. Like, I'll wear it the first game, and whatever happens that first game, I will follow that routine. Like in 2015, when the Mets were in the World Series, I had to have a jersey and a pack of Twizzlers. This playoffs, I have to have. I can't wear a jersey. I have to have a box of hot tamales and or popcorn, the Dollar Tree popcorn that comes in the bag. So it's very confusing, and I got to figure out what I'm going to do on Sunday for Game 6. So what are some of your superstitions?
I didn't have any, but my older brother was a huge Packers fan. And so he felt like if he didn't wear all of his Packer gear, we're talking shoes, socks, underwear, shorts, t-shirt, his ball cap, and he had like gloves or something. I don't know. He went all out, okay?
He's ready for a touchdown pass in his living room.
Yes, I don't know. He'd have his big. He had a glass, or looked like a beer stein is what it looked like, but it was Packers. He had to have that. He had to have a certain drink in there, and yeah, that was his. You didn't talk.
No G's head.
He had one, but I don't think he wore it because he preferred to wear the baseball cap. But yeah, he had, and he would wear different combinations depending on, if they lost or won. And so the next game he would change the outfit accordingly.
And then hopefully you find the right combination,
I went
Last
to
time the Mets won, we had pepperoni pizza. So Sunday night is going to be pepperoni pizza night. So, we're going to get a Shagzilla that they call it at Papa John's, or a Shack Attack, or whatever it is. But that's, there was a game the other night where I was I mean, I was popping my blood pressure pills like Tic Tacs, and it was like, oh, come on, what are we doing? But they pulled it out tonight. We go back to LA for Sunday, and hopefully we can tie it up and then win in Game 7. So,
Yeah, I can relate to the blood pressure thing now. Whenever I would watch IU basketball, I always made sure I did laundry, uh, specifically socks, because if I got pissed off, I could take a rolled up sock and throw it at the TV because my husband at the time would trying to be asleep or whatever because he would go in super early to work. And so I couldn't yell, like I normally were.
mm-hmm.
You know me, I cuss like a sailor. So I couldn't do that. So I reverted to, taking a sock and throwing it at the TV, or if a kid happened to be passing by, I'd throw it at the kid.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's amazing what we think works.
You never know. You never know.
You never know. It could be what they are. I've never had a player call me up and say, "Hey, you wearing the socks today?" But you never know. It could happen. So, all right, welcome again to the Geek and I. This is Federation Friday. We are discussing an episode of the original series. It is this week, The Conscience of the King. What are your initial thoughts? I thought this was pretty neat. This was like Kirk CSI or CSI Enterprise or something, which was pretty good.
Yeah, I was, when I started watching it, I was like, I don't know if I've ever seen this episode. It rang no bells throughout the whole episode. It rang no bells for me. I was like, either I really hated this episode back when I was younger, first watching it, and decided never to watch it again, which I can't imagine that happening because we watched Star Trek a lot at my brother's house. But yeah, I just do not remember this episode at all.
I could see this being I could see this being a holodeck episode on Next Gen.
Right.
Instead of it being a acting troupe that goes around the galaxy, something that happens on the holodeck. But I guess then you wouldn't have had the twist at the end, and a really, really cool twist that I didn't see coming, because this is one of the ones where I've seen a little bit of it, a couple of pieces. I remember the guy, with the knife and the who's the first one that gets it, the guy with the starfish on his head. So basically, it opens up with this dagger and somebody getting stabbed, and it's this guy, and he's playing a death, or this is Karidian, correct? Is his name here Karidian? The actor Karidian?
Oh, yeah. I thought you were thinking of the other name, but yeah, I think his name is Karidian here.
So he's a Shakespearean actor, and they go around from planet to planet, and I guess they're on Arcturus, because he it says I mean I always put the captions on so it can remind me of what everybody is saying, because I have a lousy memory. So I'm assuming they're on Arcturus because it says an Arcturian Macbeth. And this guy here, who we'll find out who he is later, is like giving the actor who's playing Macbeth the stink eye here.
Yep.
And they're acting along the way, and he says, he's trying to tell Kirk who this guy is, and he thinks his name is Kodos the Executioner. And then we get the title card, and we are rip roaring after the first commercial break to the episode, and they are down on the planet, and trying to figure out. Kirk is like, you just accused this guy of being a mass murderer, and this guy's pretty sure that he's Kodos the Executioner.
Well, what I didn't understand about this is that all these other guys, the voice, resonates with them, and that's how they kind of recognize this guy. But Kirk doesn't. But from what I understood, he's one of the witnesses or whatever. So it's like, why is everybody else but Kirk recognizing at least the voice of this guy?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like he's wearing a different beard. So I guess maybe like, Clark Kent and Superman, you put the glasses on and everything is the exact same, except he's got this long handlebar mustache and beard. And I guess, do they explain what's going on with this guy's face? I don't remember. I don't think they did, but I'm assuming that he was, they originally, whoever this Kodos is that makes him this angry, tried to kill him or kill his family, or they killed his family.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of got the impression that maybe he was on that planet, wherever it was, that Kodos was killing. Basically, he was Thanos, trying to kill half the population because their crops were ruined and whatnot. But yeah, I was just like, my first impression was Phantom of the Opera.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm not sure if they ever said exactly what happened, but that was my impression.
Yeah, and he says that, Jim, there's only 8 or 9 of us who actually saw Kodos. And like you said, Jim saw him, so how does he not recognize who this guy is? So then Kirk goes into Columbo mode and starts, digging into the files, asking the computer, who is this guy? Let's figure out. Give me all the information on the governor of Tarsus IV, and the computer says he invoked martial law and slaughtered 50% of the population on the Earth colony. So then he asks who is Karidian, and the computer comes back as director and the star of the traveling company of actors. And then he says, compare the two. Now, I don't understand why Kirk didn't get the same answers as Spock did later on, because Spock does the same exact thing and says, compare. He tells the computer to compare the two, compare the two files, right?
I think Spock might have been more specific with his question for the computer, whereas I think Kirk was kind of vague. I'm pretty sure because, I think Spock asks more questions than what Kirk does.
Mm. And then you can see here one, I guess that's Kodos on the left and Karidian on the right. And other than looking slightly to the right, they look nothing alike. I mean, it's like, you can tell that's the same person.
Right. Well, I was reading reviews for this on, I don't know if it was Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb, but they were like, couldn't they run facial recognition? I'm like, okay, we didn't have that back then. And if somebody else was, what about DNA? Okay, we didn't have that back then.
Yeah, even though this is in the future.
Right. Oh, cracked me up.
So then this is Karidian's daughter, who, you know, I don't know what cologne Kirk wears, but I mean, as soon as she walks through the door, he's like, "Hey,
how you doing?
How you doing?" You know, it's like he's like Joey. How you doing? And then he's like, "Hey, you know, we're I just got here, you just got here, let's get out of here," type of thing. And I guess that's to get her to talk. I mean, leave the party, and that way he can ask questions. And I think he is also kind of hooked on her.
Well, I think initially it's just, we all know Kirk's a hound dog, okay? So I think it was the attraction first. I don't think he was going for answers until later on in the show, when he was more convinced that Kodos and Karidian were the same person. That's my thoughts. But there was a lot of, between him and her, there was a lot of sexual innuendos going on. I don't know if you noticed that.
A lot.
Like, how did this get passed?
Yeah, and last time you weren't here, and something happened, and Martin was like, "Oh, I thought we'd have a week where we wouldn't get to use that sound effect," and I think you know which one I'm talking about. So,
yeah, I watched it later on. Yeah,
Kirk here is like, "Yeah, I saw your performance tonight. May I extend my appreciation?" So he's extending himself.
I don't think we'll ever get away from that sound with Kirk.
No. And then when Riker comes on board.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He wants to talk to her dad, but the dad says, "No, I don't see people."
I wonder why.
Can you blame him? I mean, if Kirk just basically comes out and says, "I'd like to see you again," and she's like, "Professionally?" And I didn't know she was a pro, but she wants to. They both want to get out of there, and they go into the purple haze of what is that? What would we say? It was Arcturus or?
Yeah, Arcturian.
Yeah.
Words I can't pronounce.
And there, Kirk is going. He's going full steam ahead. You know, he's like, up scope, and here we go. And then there's a scream, and there's a body, and it turns out that it's who are the ones from SpongeBob that he wears the starfish mask?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't worn. Oh, you mean Patrick?
No, Patrick's the starfish, but then there's the superheroes, Barnacle Boy, and I forget. It's been a
It's
while.
been too long since I've watched
Yeah.
SpongeBob.
And Kirk realizes it's Tom, one of the other witnesses, and he turns up dead. And there's Tom's wife, and she kind of says the same thing. We're here. Karidian's here. Kodos, we think it's Kodos. So he ended up dead. So Kirk is, I guess, doing like 3-dimensional chess in his mind, and he wants to he wants those people on board his ship. So he calls the guy who's supposed to pick them up and take them to their next show, and he says, "Cancel that. Strand them here. I'll take them. We'll make up some reason, and don't tell anybody." So Kirk has got a plan to put it in motion and figure out who this guy is. So Miss Karidian gets transported on board, and he sets it up so they can have a show. And I don't know if you noticed when they're talking and Rand walks in, she gives the Karidian the old stink eye.
Competition.
Yeah, she wants to. She's Kirk's one and only. And they're going to the Benicia colony, and Spock's like, "That's off course." And he just says, "If my memory needs refreshing, I'll ask you." And he just chews Spock out right there in front of everybody.
Yeah, I didn't understand this because maybe it's because it's still early in the season and their relationship hasn't gotten to the point where, he just totally trusts Spock and McCoy for that fact, because I think he goes off on McCoy too. But I was just like, okay, why would you not at least tell your first officer what's going on? I just thought it was hinky.
Well, this is the episode right after Spock hijacked the Enterprise. Right?
Still. Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like I don't know if that was going through their mind when they wrote the episode, but I can see there being not a lot of trust grown yet. So the computer says there were 9 survivors. Kirk J, presently Enterprise captain. K Riley and D Ames.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Ames or Emis?
Ames, I think.
And he says to the computer, "Is that
annoying person on this ship?"
Kevin Riley from. Now I remembered him from a few episodes ago. What is he the one that? No, that was. What was he doing? Was he drinking during one of the episodes?
I think so. I think he got drunk. I don't remember what episode it was, but
so they promoted him, and now he's going to demote him.
Serves him right.
And Spock goes to McCoy and says the captain's acting strangely, and Bones doesn't care because he's got a couple of minutes to himself, so he's gonna look for the bottom of a bottle. and see if he can find it. And Spock's not interested. And I thought this was a weird line where he says, "My father's race has spared the dubious benefits of alcohol." So I guess Klingons don't drink.
You mean Vulcans?
Oh yeah, Vulcans. I'm sorry.
Like, what Star Trek are you watching?
Yeah, I'm watching the new Star Trek. Apparently,
You know, I found this line kind of weird because I couldn't tell you how far out or how many episodes, or maybe it's even next season, where he kind of says the exact opposite of that.
where they like to the Vulcans are lushes.
Yeah. Well, not, I don't know. I hope we get to that episode in this season, but I'm thinking he says something totally different in reference to drinking alcohol, Vulcans.
So Spock is like, it's completely illogical for them to bring them aboard. They canceled their pickup, and Kirk wants to give them the ride, and Bones thinks, Kirk is thinking with his phaser array, and they walk around. They're giving him the tour, and I thought this was pretty neat the way he says, the ship kind of is set to mimic the time of day on Earth. So I guess you do get night. You get night when you're on the ship, and she thinks that Kirk did it for her, and he was like, "Yeah, if I did, I would have some music and flowers." And I was expecting there to be music and flowers all of a sudden. But yeah, that was a pretty cool feature I didn't know about the Enterprise, and I don't know what she's thinking of here.
Innuendos.
Innuendos.
That's right. I was like, geez. Coming on pretty hot and strong there.
Yeah, and he gets a little bit, and Spock starts his investigation by asking the computer questions. And he says, check their past histories and correlate that. And he finds out that there were 8,000 colonists and virtually no food, and Kodos seized power and declared martial law, and he had his own theories of eugenics, which, like you said earlier, is very, very Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think so? This is 1967. When did the Thanos comics?
Dude, let me investigate.
Because I'm wondering if they took that from Marvel or vice versa. And was that part of the storyline in the comics for Thanos?
Well, it says his character first appeared in the Invincible Iron Man, February 1973.
Okay, so afterwards.
Yeah.
So Marvel stole it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Basically.
so we've gotten down to that. But was that the actual storyline of the comic series, where, or is that something that they made up for the Avengers movie, where he wanted to save the
No,
universe?
I think it's taken from, well, Marvel does what Marvel does. They take stories from the comics and then they kind of tweak them. But I think the whole, wiping out half the universe, I think that was always a Thanos thing.
And Bones wants to know what Karidian has to do with it, and I guess by correlating the two histories of the people, Spock learns that Karidian's, his first appearance,
yes,
comes right after Kodos disappeared.
Yep. See, Spock asked a more specific question than Kirk did. He wanted to compare past history, where Kirk didn't even ask that. He just said to compare the two.
Right. Yeah. And then we go down to Riley, and Riley is sent to is that where does he go?
Engineering.
So he's just hanging out, watching flashing lights, beeping and flashing and beeping. And
I'm sorry, but a ship that big, even though it's nighttime, he's the only one. There's nobody else. There's like 4 other people. It's a big ship. Come on. Anything could go wrong, and they got one guy who's a goofball watching it.
Now, was Riley the... No, that was Charlie that what's her name sang to last time, right? Was that the only other time she sang?
Charlie X. Mm-hmm.
She sang to Charlie. And then somebody comes along with some gloves,
a spray
bottle. And a spray bottle. A 19
when that came on.
Yeah, that's from Dollar Tree. I know, I got a couple of those in the house.
Like, you couldn't even get like a syringe, something better than a water bottle or spray bottle.
Yeah, well, they wanted you to think it was the cleaning woman,
I guess.
See, now you're supposed to go into that line from Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid.
I don't think I've seen that. You
don't know the black and white Steve Martin? Anytime somebody says cleaning woman, he goes crazy.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that should be a next watch.
Okay.
So he's got, I don't even know what that is on the plate. It looks like...
Looks disgusting.
Well, I mean, it looks like all the square pieces that come from the kids' puzzle set, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's a square. Oh, there's one that's rounded. You know, that goes in the round. So Riley drinks the milk, and he gets sick. And Spock's like, you gotta fix this dude. We gotta talk to him. Because we remember he's one of the witnesses.
Right.
So apparently it was a highly volatile lubricant. So I don't know why. I don't know, what does volatile mean? It means dangerous, right? I mean, not really like explosive. I mean, it could mean explosive. So if pieces get hot and they rub together, I don't know. or if is it just poison, volatile? I mean,
I think, it's like one of those things, if it's ingested, it could kill you.
and what do we think that needs lubricating on the Enterprise other than Kirk?
Well, you know where my mind went to. Exactly.
So Spock confronts Kirk and says, I checked the computers and I came up with the same answers. And then Kirk goes off on him again for meddling in his affairs. And Bones is like, if he is Kodos, what are you going to do? You going to throw him out of an airlock? So they don't know what his plans are, and then all of a sudden there's this sound coming from his quarters, and I seem to remember this. Wasn't there this? Didn't this happen in another episode?
Yeah, I think it did.
Where somebody set the phaser to explode.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was one we've watched already, or one that I've seen in the past.
Happen in one of the Menagerie episodes? Maybe the first one?
Yeah, I don't remember. I wish Martin was here. He'd be able to tell us.
The lore master.
So they're evacuating this whole section. Kirk covers his ears and he's going to look for the thing. And luckily he put it behind a glass window that glows red. And they find it and they shove it down the trash compactor that says explosive phaser disposal here. And then it I guess they inject it into space and they all have a nice dance party. And we're now hiding behind the see-through walls again. And Kirk goes into Karidian and has him read a speech that Kodos gave way back when to record his voice and try and have a voice match. And she comes in and she is just lays into Kirk and, is can't believe that he's actually accusing her father of this heinous act.
I don't know why, but that was when I became a little suspicious of her.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It was just weird.
So Kirk says, well, I apologize, basically, and, would you like to do a performance, as on the, for my crew? And I guess that gives them the opportunity to keep an eye out to see who A, would die next, and B, catch the killer before somebody gets offed. So they're gonna lock up Riley, keep him safe, put him in witness protection, because he snuck out of the doctor's office when the doctor was Oh, no, that's when he goes down and they send him to the doctors, don't they?
Well, he's already in sick bay because he was poisoned, but evidently was feeling better, and he overheard McCoy giving dictation on the possible links of Karidian and Kodos, and Kodos
Right.
had killed his family,
And
Kevin's family.
Riley sneaks out to go kill them, to go kill him.
Revenge.
And Kirk sneaks backstage. I don't see an all-access pass around his neck. So he evades security and gets backstage. And Dad is confessing that he played a different part, long ago, and that he actually is Kodos. And, he's sorry for what he's done, but he expects that they're going to blame him for all these deaths. And she's like, no, I've buried, all the ghosts are dead. So she knew who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And she killed them all. And that, I was like, wow, that's a pretty cool twist. And Dad becomes very, very upset because he did everything he could to keep her safe and keep her unknowing of his past. So I guess he could know that she was, I don't know, okay. But keep her clean, keep her hands clean.
Right.
And now she's just like, she's on this bloodlush or whatever it is that you call it. She's just out for blood and wants to kill everybody that came in contact with her dad to keep them quiet.
Well, in this scene, I mean, she goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in less than 5 minutes. It was just, the further along this scene goes, I mean, she just whack-a-doodle.
Yeah, she just keeps going and going and going. And I got the feeling that he was kind of tired of running all the time.
Yeah.
And she's like, I did it for you. I saved you. I would have killed the world. And I think that, I don't know, did that key off the dad? Like, holy moly, she's got my blood in her and she's just as loony as, I mean, he thinks he did the right thing.
Right.
But
yeah, I don't know.
Or because you do find out earlier that if he had only waited, what was it, a couple of days?
Yeah, I think it was like 2 or 3 days. If he would have just waited, supplies would have come in.
Right. So now, does he feel guilty?
I don't think he did back then, but in this conversation that he's having with his daughter, at least I kind of got the impression that he regrets what he did.
Right. And she lets her hair down and goes completely crazy, grabs a phaser, and she says she knows how to use it. And the close-up, on her eyes, just shows, I mean, she's got Crazy Karen written all over her face. And she wants to kill Kirk, and Dad jumps in the way.
Yeah, because he was, I think Kirk was getting ready to arrest him, and, he was going to go peacefully. Like you said, I think he was just tired of running. So he was going to go peacefully, and yeah, she didn't like that.
So she actually kills Dad. And now she's gone even wackier. And is this what play is this? Are these lines from? You know, is this? I wish I had looked this up beforehand. What play this is? This is from? Are they doing Macbeth again, or was there a different play at the end that they were performing for the crew?
It's Hamlet, evidently.
Act 1, Scene 4.
Yeah, the play is the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king is a line from Hamlet.
I'll have to watch Hamlet. I'll have to watch Mel Gibson's Hamlet, right? He was in Hamlet.
I have no, I don't watch Shakespeare. It was bad enough I had to try and read it in high school back in the day.
Well, it wasn't out yet.
I'm old, but I'm not that old.
So, I guess she's going to the loony bin because Bones says she's going to get the best care she can. She doesn't remember anything. I kind of...
Mental break?
Yeah, she had a mental breakdown, but I kind of wish that she had turned the phaser on herself, like Captain Terrell.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then that way he could, I don't know, maybe mourn what he thought he could have had, Does he say, there was a time where, I bought into her story and he thinks he could have, maybe spent his life with her. But, everything Kirk touches goes crazy. And I mean that's basically it. The ship flies off. Great effects in this episode. Couple of really cool looking flybys that they've done for the Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this episode. It was one of those where, you look at it and you kind of like, all right, it's, Macbeth and it's Shakespeare. It's going to be a bore fest, which is probably why I never watched it beforehand. And, I would turn it on and I would see it and I'd be like, all right, let's go.
Oh, it's this one. Yep.
Yeah. But it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, they added, I noticed when Kirk and the daughter were on tour and they were in that one room, they added the effect that they have, because I don't think it had it before in the original, where the stars move by, like they do on TNG. I don't think I ever noticed that.
Starfield.
On the original series, I always thought the Starfield was kind of like static. It was just sitting there.
Well, I think they used to do what I did in high school, was take a black piece of paper and punch holes in it and put a light
Right
behind it. That's how I did my Starfields in high school back in the day. episode. What's your rating?
I'd probably give it a 6.
Six out of 10.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know if it's me or if
I don't know if I'll watch this one again. I'd probably put it. Oh, it's me.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't get the good computer to get sound again, so I'm on the I'm on the computer it's actually quicker to do a cave painting. But I would give this a 5. It's not one that I'd watch again, but I did enjoy it. And it's too bad all the cute girls in Star Trek go crazy or die. You know,
You just can't handle Kirk.
that's it. He's too much man.
That's right.
So next week, what is next week's episode?
I believe it's Balance of Terror.
Okay. All right, good. That's a good one. That's
Yeah,
one
that's a good one.
I've been waiting to watch, and I think that that one is the first. I think Martin said that was the first space battle in Star Trek.
It's the first time we see now. Is this Romulan or Klingons?
Yeah, these are the Romulans.
Okay, so it's the first time we see a Romulan,
and we see what's his name? Is it Mark Leonard?
Mark Leonard. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mark Leonard as Romulan commander, and
ends up playing Spock's father. Way down the line.
Is it way down the line? He doesn't come back for a while.
I was thinking of that the other day. I was trying to think when he comes back. Of course, I remember him from whatever. I think he was in one of the movies, but I remember him when Spock is on TNG, and I think his father is dying or has some kind of condition. I don't remember. But yeah, that off the top of my head, that's the first time I remember. But I'm
he
sure
was in 3 and 4.
Oh, was he? Okay.
And not sure if he was in 6. Because he's the one that told Kirk in 3 that Spock's mind is inside of bones.
Oh, yeah.
So, well, that was again. I enjoyed that episode. I don't think I'll watch it again. What do you think? Leave us your thoughts down in the comments below. Next week, as Debbie said, is Balance of Terror. I've been looking forward to this one because I hear this is one that is a top favorite of a lot of fans.
He starts playing Spock's dad in Journey to Babel.
Okay. Now that's not the same Babel as from Deep Space Nine, right?
Oh, I don't know. I can't
wasn't Babel the one where they get the disease, and when they speak in utter pumpkin muffin mix? No, that doesn't ring a bell.
No, I've only watched DS9 once, and I had put that off for years watching DS9 because I think I tried watching it when it first came out. I couldn't get into it, so I just didn't watch it for a while. And then a couple years back, I think I went through and watched, starting with the original series, and went through TNG and Enterprise and Voyager. And then I was like, all right, guess I better watch DS9. It became better as the series went on, but
Yeah.
I
Once
only
the
did
battle, once the war started, I think that's where it took off, when they started copying Babylon 5.
see, I've never watched that one.
That's one we'll do here on the program eventually. So Deb, what do you got? You are now part of something new, correct? What is it? What is it you're part of?
Oh, Feast of Fandoms. I always have trouble saying that, so because I'm used to saying the other place. But
Right.
Feast of Fandoms, here on YouTube and on Facebook and TikTok, Instagram. Pretty much all of the shows that was on the other channel are now with Feast of Fandom. So Cantina Happy Hour, MCU Mondays, Captain's Logs and Lightsabers, War of the Stars, Geek Gauntlet. I feel like I'm missing one. But yeah, we're all of our shows are over on the Feast of Fandoms now.
Very cool. And we'll put the link to Feast of Fandom's YouTube here in the description once I have AI write it for me, because I don't do that very well. And
well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and there's also follow our friends over at the Sith Dominion.
I'm
I
on
pop
that
in
show.
now every. I pop in every once in a while in the chat, throw a joke grenade, and then check out.
But they're always funny.
I saw it was it this week? I forget what you or maybe it was last week when you guys were talking about what was last week? But I didn't see the one this week
The
with
Last Jedi, because this week we discussed Rise of Skywalker. So last week,
I didn't see Rise of Skywalker one yet. I didn't watch that one yet. It was the Last Jedi one, and it was like, okay, well, we're gonna wrap up here, and then like 30 minutes later,
he still does that all the time. I'm like,
he's still asking questions, and I gave out the award for longest wrap up in YouTube history.
Yeah, because they're all down in Texas, so it's not as late for them as it is for me because I'm on the East Coast. And so it's like,
it's only an hour here.
Well, yeah, but I gotta be to work. I gotta get up at 5:45 in the morning. So when he goes on and on, it's already been a 2-hour show.
Yeah.
And then he keeps extending it, and I'm like, dude, you're killing me. Well, I know you gotta go, Deb. So we're just gonna wrap it up for the 5th time.
Yeah. Yeah, and I saw was it Andrew? Did you like Andrew or Andy? He just like laid his head down and went to sleep. Yeah.
He goes by Andrew, not Andy.
And he doesn't like Andrew. He doesn't like Andy. All right, so now I know what to call him. So, that being said, thank you everybody for tuning in to the Geek and I podcast. We are here every Friday. Follow us on TikTok. I uploaded a new Federation Friday AI song today, a rap song about Conscience of the King. Check that out over on TikTok. We are listed as the Gen X Men on TikTok because they locked my Geek and I account because I didn't know the password. That's what happens when you're Gen X and you get old. So
that's why I write all of mine down. I don't care. I got too many passwords at work and at home, and
yeah. My password is 6. So I figured, the technology is getting to the point where it's so advanced, they'll never figure out that it's just one number. But yeah, next week we have The Balance of Terror. Hopefully Marty will be back. We'll be recovered from a Mets victory on Monday and headed to the World Series. So let's see if...
Who are you guys playing again?
Mike. We're playing the Dodgers.
Okay.
And hopefully we can move ahead and play the Yankees in the World Series, because we swept the Yankees this year in the season series. Now, that was only 4 games, but that's what you need to win a World Series is 4 games. So we might not, if it starts on a Friday, we might not be here next Friday because of the World Series. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out when that happens.
You can record it.
I'm a true Mets fan, so I think we're gonna lose every day. And it's been a lifetime, 50 years, 55 years of heartbreak.
The Cubs got lucky one year, so it can happen for the Mets.
Yeah, well, we had a couple of good runs, and we'll see what happens. Don't forget Feast of Fandoms. Monday you have Geek Gauntlet tomorrow, correct?
Yes.
And then Monday is MCU Monday. What's the discussion?
Episode 6 of Agatha All Along. That show is so good. Come on.
Is it good? Yeah, I'm waiting
It's
until
really
I can
good.
watch the whole thing. And then Wednesday is Cantina Happy Hour.
No, that's Thursday.
That's Thursday. Wednesday is Sith Dominion.
No,
right?
that's Tuesday.
All right, whatever. Look at the schedule. We'll post the schedule of everything in the... Because I don't know. I don't even know what today is. We'll see you next time on the Geek and I podcast. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to if you enjoyed this, which I doubt it, but give us a like and hit that bell notification for when we go on. I'm starting a new series, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna watch. What was I gonna watch?
WKRP.
That's right. WKRP in Cincinnati.
Johnny Viva.
And from all of us here at the Geek and I podcast, Booger. We'll see you next time.